Hey everyone, welcome back. So part two of our discussion of financial documents. I told you at the end of the prior video, there'll be three types of documents that students usually try to upload. There's red, which you cannot use for St. Thomas, yellow, which may be able to be used for your I-20 generation, but might require some additional details and documents from you, and then green, the easiest to use when you're trying to get your I-20, and you'll get it faster if you're using green documents. So let's start with those. All right, so green financial documents. The best documents that you can upload are checking accounts, saving accounts, and confirmed student loans if you can get them. It's usually difficult for international students to get confirmed student loans to study in the United States, but if you're eligible in your country and you can find something that works for you, that's fine too. All of these documents share one thing in common. They're liquid. They represent cash that can be applied directly to your educational costs. So let's walk through checkings and savings very quickly. When students are submitting checkings and savings accounts, some requirements you must meet. First, they must be unaltered, not blurred, not changed in any way. They must be fully visible. They must show the account holder's name because we have to be able to know whether it's your account or a sponsor or family member. You must show the full account number. And very important, it must show the closing balance in the accounts. I don't really care about all of this type of stuff, the list of transactions, unless I can see how much money remains after the transactions have been accounted for. All right, we're not accountants. We're not going to go through a document and do all the maths ourselves. I want to see the closing balance. So here you see an example. You can see the name, the account number, and you can see it has closing totals at the bottom. Okay, those are checking and savings accounts. Confirmed student loans. If you're able to get one, what we need from you is the end confirmation letter. Not the letter that states what you're eligible for, not the congratulations, we believe you're eligible for this amount of money, but no, the confirmation letter from the bank providing you the loan or the organization providing you the loan that contains your exact amount of loan money being given to you, and it's basically saying we'll give you this money and it will be dispersed to the university directly. Okay. Now, some of you might be saying, well, Paul, I have a scholarship. How do I account for that? You haven't mentioned that. If you have a scholarship, if you're undergraduate, I can usually look it up. If you're an undergraduate who has a sports scholarship, I would recommend that you upload with your financial documents your sports scholarship award letter. And if you're a graduate student, very often you don't have scholarships, but some of you are athletes as well or have special programs you've applied to and you've been awarded money. Anything that documents that amount needs to be uploaded along with your financials. So those are all the green documents. Let's talk about yellow documents. Yellow documents are more difficult. They will take you longer to get your I-20. Yellow documents include investment portfolios, pension or retirement accounts, and the problem with these types of documents, even though students often try to use them, is that they are not immediately liquid. In other words, they are representational of wealth you have tied up in a marketplace or with a pension account, but there are a lot of steps in order to withdraw that money. So they are not liquid. So let's talk about them. Let's say you are trying to use an investment portfolio. How can we make sure that you can use it for an I-20? It must be unaltered. Okay. It must show the account holder's name and account number. If the investment account is not your personal investment account, then we need to have a letter from the account holder, the person whose name is on it, stating that they intend to liquidate the money in this account to pay for your education. So here you see an example of an investment account. It's unaltered. It's got all the information we need. And if this is not your account, if you're not using your own investments, you're using a friend or family member's, they have to write a letter, including with your financials, saying they will use this account to pay for your education. Sometimes we often get pension or retirement accounts. Once again, same qualifications. Unaltered, account holder's name, must show the total balance available in the pension fund. You must have a stamped letter from the account provider, so the organization that holds the pension fund, confirming that that account can be liquidated. So in other words, it has to be from the pension fund saying if this individual wants, they can end their pension fund and pull money from it. Then you also have to have a letter from the account holder, the person whose pension it is, saying that they will take the money out and put it toward their education. And then finally, understand that if you try to use a pension fund, I'm automatically going to reduce the amount in the fund by 40%. Okay, I'm going to take 40% off of that because when you take money out of a pension fund, there's taxes that must be paid, and there's usually an early withdrawal penalty fee that must be paid. So you won't have that money to put towards your education. So I'm going to reduce it hypothetically off the total amount. And so you'll actually have less in that account to put towards your education because you have to pay those taxes and fees. So both of these documents are yellow because there's a lot of extra work you have to do to be able to use them. Finally, red financial documents, documents you cannot use for your I-20. Number one, tax statements. You cannot use tax statements. Tax statements, like income tax statements, are declarative. They simply are you telling the government, I made this much money in a year. They don't show any of the money you actually have on hand. Real estate or other high value assets. Sometimes students want to submit, for example, they want to submit the deed to their home, or they want to submit amount of money they have in like gold or silver, okay? None of those types of things can be used. And the reason for that, okay, like Bitcoin's another example, all right? Cryptocurrency can't be used. Why can't we not use these? Because none of those can be liquidated. They are all basically a value statement, but due to market fluctuations, due to the fact that you're not guaranteed the ability to sell that home or that car or sell that gold or silver, due to the volatility of cryptocurrency markets, none of those are guaranteed liquid assets. And so we can't use any of those when you are asking for an I-20. So don't submit them because we can't take them. So once again, tax statements, they're liquid assets. They're declarative. They're not assets that you have on hand. Real estate or high value assets, once again, like a home statement, are not liquid. They depend on a sale, and the sales price is not guaranteed. So we have no way to know how much you'll get for that in the future if you choose to sell it. And so as we're wrapping up this part of the video, just when you're thinking about preparing to submit your documents, some final thoughts. Number one, liquid assets are the best. Number two, when uploading documents, you can include multiple documents. You can include documents from different sources like your personal documents, family documents, sponsors, or both. And finally, you can have documents that are accounts in international currencies, as long as the balances, when I convert them to USD, cover your costs. Hopefully you found all this information helpful as you're getting ready to upload those financials for your I-20. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to our department. Thank you so much for listening.